Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Blueprints is a game that takes me back to a different era. This is back when you would have these little light fillers and games were just coming out in mass. I don't know, they still do, I get it. But this just takes me back to a different era. Not a lot of game inside this box. It's okay, you're drafting dice. It's almost fairly obvious what dice you're going to take and where you're going to put them at. And then the scoring just seems kind of like tacked on at the end. Like, you know, if they had each of the dice does something different. Why does plastic do something different than wood? Like, it makes no sense thematically. And you're really just placing these dice on top of each other, and the whole thing just seems kind of silly. And it's not one I particularly enjoyed. I like different games in this. And this one just didn't do. There was a game called Cubist that came out. I reviewed a while back, and I feel like it does this, but a lot better. And this is one that just didn't speak to me. It just didn't feel interesting. It didn't feel like, it almost felt like it was playing itself, like I knew what to take. And then you had to have all that scoring kind of dumped in, so the simplicity of the game didn't really come through with how you're going to score it out. And it took a little bit to understand that. Then you had the prize cards. This is not one I would recommend. I would say, but definitely play this one before you buy it and take a look at it. If somebody has it, say, hey, can I play your copy of Blueprints? You know, you'll pass the time, it'll be a good thing, but it's not something that's going to be a deep experience. And I think you'll get tired of it pretty quickly. It plays the same pretty much every time, and it's one that I'm definitely going to purge. Here's Blueprints. You can see the dice coming out with the building with the guys on the scaffold there. It's a kind of a famous picture, I guess. Or you're going to have an advertisement when you open this up from Z-Man, a couple of these. A rule book. This one's in French. You're going to have these screens. They'll be the same ones in different colors, but they do show you how the game is played. Your rule book in English, which we'll take a look at in a few minutes. You're going to have a cardboard scorer. It goes down here. Then you have to go all the way back over here, so it doesn't wrap around like most of these do. But, you know, if you get 10 points, you just move down. That's pretty nice. But they'll sit real flat. Going to get a bag. I can't really stick my hand in there too good, but I can get my fingers in there and get the big chunky dice out. So you can see the dice are a bunch of different colors. Just regular 6-sided dice. Going to get some little wooden markers, which are fine. And then the cards are really what you're going to have here. And you can see, you know, they kind of, you know, sketches more than anything. These are okay. Just, the cards feel all right. You know, nothing really to write home about. Not very good artwork included. It's okay. The dice are nice, and you'll be using these a lot and picking these up. They're big and chunky, and they work great. Components are okay. So here's the rule book. You see the contents with no real pictures, but I don't think you really need it for this. Explanation of the blueprint cards. Then the setup will be right here, and the gameplay will tell you kind of go over it and how many dice you'll have for each player, kind of how to build everything up, and the scoring. Everything in here is about scoring. So you'll be building this up, the materials that you'll be utilizing. If you understand scoring, you'll do fine in this. End of the round, and then some extra rules for a 2-player game. The rules are pretty good. I mean, you probably need 10-15 minutes to sit down with this. And you'll be fine. I don't think anything in here is kind of a lightweight game that you'll be utilizing. It's a little abstract in how you're doing things, a little abstract in how you score, but I think most people will be able to figure it out pretty easily. So the sub-game is really easy. You're going to have the award cards placed out. You're only going to use certain decks with a number of players. You're going to shuffle up your blueprints, and then you'll put your prize cards off to the side. You'll put all the dice into the bag, and then you're ready to play. Very easy to set up. So first thing you're going to do in a game round is you're going to have your scoreboard. You're going to put 2 dice, and you're going to put them here, and you're going to put them right there. So they'll be available on that scoreboard right there. And those are called your in-demand materials. They must be different colors. If you draw 2 of the same, then you'll redraw them, but you have the in-demand right there. Each player will get 1 blueprint card that will be placed in front of them. Then you'll draw a number of dice depending on how many players. So in a 4-player game, you're going to draw 7 dice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Each player will have their 7 dice, their 1 blueprint card, and you'll have the 2 in-demand cards. Now these will be hidden behind your screen so nobody can see it. So you can easily set this up like so. I'm not going to use this just for illustration purposes, but know like what you'll be doing will be behind the screen. Then you'll take the 7 dice you have, you'll roll them, and these will be the available dice for the turn. So you have your blueprint card behind your screen. These will be the ones that are available. So on your turn, you will take a die. You will place it without changing what it is onto your blueprint card. You will draw another one from the bag, roll it, and then it will be available for the next player to take. Now, once you place a die, it has to stay here. And then generally speaking, this will tell you how high they can be. So this is going to place 2 dice, 1, 1, 1, 2, to try to get this order of what you have. So you can place a die that you grab anywhere that you want. Now, if you want to place a die on top of it, the number must be larger. So I couldn't put 2 on top of this, and I definitely couldn't put a 1 on top of it. So the number just has to be larger than what was already there. But that's a 1, so I couldn't do that. But I could put it on top of the 2 here. And that's the only placement rules that you're going to see for the game. So what you'll do is you'll end up drawing and continue to go on until you place all 6 die. Now, for some reason, if you can't place a die, then you just kind of get rid of that and you won't have a die there, so you'll be 1 short. So after all 6 is done, then what you'll do is you look and see how you did and you'll score it appropriately. Now, if you're able to score this exactly how this is and how it is on the card, which I have done here, then you would get all 6 points. Now, each of the different colors will score differently that you're going to have here. So orange is wood. You score each orange die individually, 2 points per die adjacent to it. So in this case, there is 1 adjacent to it, so that would be 2 points. The green ones are recycled. You score total points for using a total. So if I had 6 of these, I would get 30 points. If I were to have 2 of these, I would get 5 points. And there's kind of a chart about how you would score these on the green ones. Now, the black ones represent stone. You score each one individually. The black die scored is worth, depending on how high it is. So if it's on level 1, it's worth 2. If I was able to, let's say, put this on top of another one to be in the second one, I would get 3 points for it. So the stone, or the black stone want to be higher and higher than they can be. And then you have the glass, which is clear. You score each clear die individually. The clear die scored is worth the value of its top face. So right now it'd be worth 1. If I had to put that on top of it, it'd be worth 4. So whatever is higher is the amount that you will score for the clear. And then you score these additional points. Whoever scored the most will get 3. The next most would get 2. And then if you're playing a 4-player game, whoever had the least amount will get 1 extra point. You just take this card to utilize that. And then you'll score these. One of these will be out each round. This one's a height of 5. 1 of each number, etc. All the numbers equal the same. And if you're able to meet this criteria of this face-up card, then you will score these additional points also. You'll play this for 3 rounds. Whoever has the most victory points will be the winner of the game. Very simple game to play. Is you're just drafting dice. You get extra points if you do this. If not, maybe go after the prize cards, or you want to have the highest value to get these rewards cards. Highest one is your winner. So who should buy blueprints? So my review of it's been kind of negative, but let me talk about who it should be for. Light gamers who like light games. Somebody who likes drafting dice and kind of likes the puzzle of putting them together. I don't think this is going to be a main event game, but it could be something to start a game night out. You play Masters of King Ludwig, and you want to have that as the main event. Maybe you should start out with this game. It's kind of a light experience to start out with. Otherwise, definitely something I would say try before you buy. Not a lot of game, and it plays out the same pretty much every time you play. Obviously, I wasn't a big fan of this one, and it's a definite purge.